So what do you think about our guy, our fearless leader, Brian Kelly, and the wonderful Southern accent that he had talking to the locals here?
Yeah, well, I just wonder when he's going to go order a poor boy sandwich.
Okay.
Look, the guy's done nothing but win, and and I said this on the show, and we talk about fit and stuff like this, and fit's a huge part, obviously, but I transferred high schools my sophomore year, and for 3 weeks I was the coolest guy on the planet. Like, people like people from the outside. I think Louisiana people, and I'm grown up around them, I think it's kind of cool to bring in a guy who is from UMass to come in and be the head coach at LSU and kind of embrace them in the culture and stuff like that. And look, if you win, it doesn't matter if you're from Saturn and you have 3 arms coming out of your head. They're going to love you. Now, is Brian Kelly brash a little bit? Is he, the warm and cuddly guy that and the good old boy that's going to run down the levee with his shirt off like Edo? No, but that's not what LSU needed. Alabama didn't hire Nick Saban because he, read a bunch of children's books to kids' classrooms. They hired him to go win football games, and that's what Brian Kelly's done. And he said it himself. I want to go to a place that has the best players. And I said on the show, you can call Brian Kelly a lot of things, but scared isn't one of them. And if I'm LSU, I'd much rather have a coach that wants to smoke than wants to go out west and take a smoke.
Without question. Like, that's my favorite part about this deal. Hey, and you're right. Brian Kelly, obviously, like, he's known for having a personality where maybe he's a little brash. Maybe he's not, sunshine pumper, which is fine. Because, obviously, look, Nick Saban won here, and he's got that same personality. And here's the thing, J-Boy, and I think you know this being a former coach, and Jimbo Fisher told me this one time. He said, guys from Louisiana, you can just coach them a little bit different, right? You can be a little bit more aggressive. You can yell at them a little bit more. They take to coaching better than others that I've recruited from other areas. And he said it's just a fact. And so I don't think that's going to be a problem. Like, you just got to be coachable. Like, you got to understand, like, this is his personality. This is what he's going to do. This is the way he's going to handle it. Doesn't mean he doesn't like me. That's just the way he gets his point across.
Well, great players want to be coached hard. I've never in my career ever seen a player that was great that didn't want to be coached hard or wasn't competitive. There's some guys that you got to kind of bring along a little bit that may be a little too competitive, that may, want to throw hands with somebody on the field every time they get beat, which I'd rather say woes and go in that situation too. But look, Brian Kelly, to me, is he's going to be like the architect of the Matrix walking in there. They're going to put him in a room, 300 different TVs. He's going to know everything that's going on, who's looking left, who's looking right. There'll be no stone unturned, and it's going to be much more organized, in my opinion. And today, you can't just beat people with hope. You have to beat them with organization and effort, and I think that's what Brian Kelly understands. And again, I think he got tired of getting to the playoffs and getting his ass kicked up front.
Yeah.
Him and if you remember 2012, Notre Dame and Bama kind of got into it in the tunnel. And if you go back and look, the way that Bama looks is a lot different than the way Notre Dame looks. And I think Brian Kelly may have taken note of that in the back of his mind because they went out there and got slaughtered.
Yeah, there's no greater commentary on the perceived ceiling and Notre Dame perceived potential of LSU than leaving an 11-1 Notre Dame playoff team potentially for a team that just finished last in the West, right? Like, that tells you everything that you need to know right there.
Well, yeah, and they got caught flat-footed. The only person that was upset was the Pope. Catholics taking from Catholics, but it is what it is. When you look to me, too, I think Brian Kelly is – and, look, I know Brian Kelly, and I've seen people say, he's unbelievable in the living room with recruits. I can tell you Brian Kelly is not the best recruiter in the world, but he doesn't have to be. He picks and chooses his spots. What I like about Brian Kelly is he knows how to hire coaches. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter how good of a coach you are if it's just one of you and you're the head coach. You got to know how to hire people. Look at Sam Pittman. It's a great example.
Yep.
Guy knows how to hire people. If you look at the track record of who Brian Kelly has hired, his coaching tree is humongous.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, oh, well, he's 60 years old going into LSU. Nick Saban was 57 going into Alabama.
Yeah.
And the same people say, oh, well, Marcus Freeman's only 35 going to Notre Dame. Lincoln Riley was 33. Ageism needs to stop. You can either do it or you can't. It's about the person, not the age.
Oh, man, that's so depressing that Lincoln Riley was only 33 when he got that job. What am I doing with my life?
Yeah, man.
You're doing the 11th ranked morning show.
11th ranked mid-market local sports morning show in the country. That's what I'm doing. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Who wants to be coach of a top 15 national program? Not me.
Couldn't be me.
Can't smoke weed and play video games if you got to watch film. Wait, what were you saying, Jay? Yeah, exactly. And right. I know how to cook a brisket.
You know how to make a roux.
Yes, I will stand by my gumbo more than my brisket. That's for damn sure. Jay Crain, JBoy Show. JBoy,
well, hey, he mentioned the assistant coaches and Brian Kelly being able to hire. So, JBoy, what do you think OC and DC are going to look like for LSU? Obviously, like Durante Jones might have a chance to stay on as DC.
Mike Bobo and Will Muschamp.
I need everybody in the state of Louisiana to listen to me, like for this, for the DC hire. I got y'all, and guess what? You go down a similar vein. Last time you needed a DC, you took a trip up to Wisconsin and found Dave Aranda. I say you get back in the car, go back up there, go give Jim Leonhard $4 million and go get another dog. That's what I say you do at the DC. It's worked before. You've got the pipeline. For $4 million, he'll do it. I don't think Mike Elko would do it. At OC, I know they went for Tommy Reese, but I got another guy out there. He just got in the car and took a trip down to TCU with Sonny Dykes. Garrett Riley, totally flipping the script, getting Lincoln Riley's little brother to be the OC. Kind of a best of both worlds situation. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. No. Well, I got to be honest. I don't know much about Riley, but I have heard the Jim Leonhard thing, and that would be the dream.
I would go get a Sequoia and drive up.
Yeah, hell yeah.
To Camp Randall to pick up my boy Jim.
Let's get the Sienna so we can have more room in the back.
Everybody talks about Dan Lanning, and they should. Dan's unbelievable, but Jim's a dog.
I played with Jimmy Leonhard. He's a dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's for real.
Jake Crain, host of the JBoy Show, presented by FanDuel every day. We love Jake. Check him out, Volume Sports Network on YouTube. Jake, let people know what y'all got coming up this weekend.
Man, we had a great one yesterday. Had Cole Kubelik on. Today we got Sean Salisbury, former NFL quarterback. Also, it was in Adam Sandler movies, which is pretty hilarious. Got him coming on. Had Jordan Battle and Jamari Sawyer. Look, it's Keys to Victory Day. Keys to Victory Day on the JBoy Show. We're going over what everything needs to happen everywhere, including me rooting on Houston with every fiber of my being this weekend. You can find us on the Volume YouTube channel, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcast. We're live from College Football Hall of Fame from 2 to 3 Central, and we're talking LSU, man. T-Bob, I don't know, man. If y'all got time, I may have one of y'all on today if you're down.
Hell yeah, bro. Just hit me up, man. My phone is wide open. Also, okay, 10 seconds here. Who wins the SC championship?
Georgia, 24-14 or 24-17. And you know what, man? Just keep putting one foot in front of the other, T-Bob. I appreciate you, buddy.
Hell yeah. Jake Crain, JBoy. Oh, wow. Okay.
Shot.
Oh, my God.
He took a shot. You didn't even realize it.
Nobody listened to the JBoy Show unless we're on there. All right, Jake, take it easy, bro. Close the hour 2. Close the hour 2 next year off the bench.